Okay, so let's talk about versioning. Hope there are no questions, right? Can I assume that? Okay, just one second. Okay, 5 TB is the maximum limit. This is all fine. So coming to the benefit, we already talked about the performance, security, availability, and all those things. I've already told these are the 5 key important aspects when you decide on the storage requirements. These are the 5 aspects which you need to think about. See, there are a lot of customers who are using it. The S3 is used by Netflix for storing and delivering the video, and they have got CloudFront and other solutions for catching and enhancing the speed, and even the Airbnb application that you're using, all the images, static files, the hotels and the restaurant related contents are stored in Amazon S3 backend only. So S3 is widely used. Hundreds and hundreds of customers are using the S3 solution for different business applications. So the main reason is unlimited storage, and you are storing. You can store from 0 bytes to 5 terabytes, one single object, one single file. I'm talking about, right? So what else? Yeah, I think we will get into the versioning discussion. Okay. So versioning, from the name itself, it gives you some idea, right? Version. So when you go and create a document or a SOP or a file or any KB article, we need to have version control, right? Version, without version control, you don't know which one is the latest file, when this file was updated, which one we need to refer. So version control is pretty much applicable for any technology where we deal with document or files or whatever, right? So you need to have version control, so that way you can identify when this was modified, when this was created, and which one is the latest and which one is the updated content. So similarly, S3 provides you an option to keep multiple versions, multiple variants of the same object in the same bucket. So you can store multiple versions and variants of the object in the same bucket. So that way, if you want to roll back or if you want to retrieve the older one, you can also do it. So you can, if you are accidentally deleted or if you are accidentally modified, you can also easily recover any data. It might be because of user unintended user actions or some malicious attack or application failure. This versioning will help you to go and roll back to the previous state. It is more or less like your snapshot or point in time backup. So it keeps multiple versions of the same file, and if you want to, if someone has accidentally overwritten it or deleted the object, you can quickly do it. I won't say it is a backup tool, but still AWS claims it as a good backup option. But of course, you have to take a file level backup using a AWS backup or some third party tool. Definitely file level, object level backups should have to be regularly taken. So backup is backup, but this versioning also provides you a mechanism to roll back and overwrite any file which has accidentally got modified or deleted. And also you can integrate with lifecycle policy. So lifecycle policy, as I said, you can move the data based on the access pattern. You can move from standard to infrequently accessed. You can move from infrequently accessed to archive. So you can create lifecycle rules. You can say that if my data is not accessed for more than 30 days, move it from standard to infrequent access. If my data is not accessed for last 180 days, move it from infrequently accessed to archive category. So those lifecycle management policies can also be implemented on top of your versioning. So versioning and lifecycle policies can also work together. So I'll show you quickly where exactly these options are. So it helps you to protect against accidental deletions, and it whenever after enabling the versioning, you can, it automatically starts creating a version for every single upload that you are doing, right? And you can roll back. So by default, the versioning is not enabled, and once after the versioning is enabled, you cannot disable it. Okay, so you can only suspend versioning. Okay, you cannot disable. Okay, so this is mainly for critical data because there is a price attached to it. When you enable versioning, it is going to keep multiple versions of the same file. So you will have higher bill, higher price that you have to pay if you want this versioning feature to be in place, right? So let me come here and show you how it works. So by default on your properties, the very first option is the bucket versioning option. So versioning means it keeps multiple versions of the same file and it helps you to roll back when there is an accidental deletion or accidental modification of your data. So this is going to help you with kind of recovering and restoring. So you click on edit. You can see by default it is disabled, right? It's not enabled as of now. The status is disabled, and you can also enable it. Once after you enable, you get a suspend option. Okay, so this will only suspend for the time that you have kept it for suspension, but you can obviously you can go back and enable it again. So if you enable it, it clearly says that you might need to update your lifecycle rules to manage the previous version. So that's fine. You can just save the changes. So once after you enable the versioning, so if I go and upload any new object, see this one, the airlines.csv file, right? So that will not have versioning. If I go and click this, and then if I go and look at the details here, so if I look at the version, it will have only current version alone. Okay, whereas if I upload some other file, let's say airport data, okay. So before versioning, if you upload the same name, same file data, it will throw an error. Okay, but now if I upload the file again, so it will, okay, let me close this and upload. Okay, it will not throw any error. So what it will do is, if I go and click on that particular file, let's say you will see only one copy here, but if I click on this, you will see versions option where you can see two options. One file was uploaded at 13th second and the other one got uploaded at 32nd second. So if you want to download this file, the latest version, or if you want to download the older version, those options are pretty much available. And even if you want to open it on a new browser window, or if you want to make this file as the primary, you can also do that. Okay, so those options are pretty much available. So when you enable versioning, it will start keeping multiple versions of the same file. So you can click on that file and come to the versions tab, and you will be able to go and roll back or utilize whichever file that you want. Okay, so that is the primary intention of versioning. And even when you are it is tied to your lifecycle management also. So let me show you that. So if you are enabling lifecycle management, it will ask you one option whether you want to, where is lifecycle management, it should be under management. So if you are creating a life cycle rule, it will ask you an option, okay, whether you want to apply the rule for the current object, or if you want to apply the rule for the versioning object also. See, it's asking that, right? So whether you want to transition the current version of the file alone to a different storage class, whether you want to do a transition of the non-current version also. So when you after you enable versioning, you need to understand that you also have to, if you want to move the older versions, or if you want to move the non-current versions also to the different storage tier, then you have to select both the options. Okay, that way you can save more cost. Otherwise, some people will enable only for the current version, and if you have uploaded multiple versions of the same file, the remaining versions will be still remaining on the primary storage class. That will end up you will end up paying more cost for it. So versioning is a very good option through which you can reduce a lot of cost, and you can also recover the options. Sorry, through lifecycle management, you can reduce a lot of cost. With versioning, you get a lot of flexibility and benefit to recover when there is a accidental change or accidental modification of your data. So versioning is pretty much important option. It's a best practice to have it. Okay, the next one is the permissions. So when it comes to permissions in AWS, there are two. Security is very, very important when it comes to data. So there are many ways that